I'm April. This is Alt Life Yoga. Thanks for checking it out. Got a bit of a shorter practice for you today. I think we got about a 20-minute flow to go through. I'm in the park, back in Portland, back in the city, but we have some pretty nice parks around here, and I figure I've got a couple more weeks of really nice weather, so I might as well get out into it. In the Pearl District at Fields Park today, kind of one of the more cleanlier parts of town, but this park is quiet right now, so sticking with it here. I have a bit of an issue that there is some trains and a freeway, and you might be able to hear that right now. So I'm going to do the vocals separate from the video from this. I don't know, maybe you'll like it, maybe I'll like it, I don't know, still just trying new things. I'm pretty sure all of life should always be trying new things. One of the things that we're going to try today that might be kind of challenging, definitely is still really challenging to me, is transitioning from Chaturanga to Up Dog and then back to Chaturanga before getting into Downward Dog, which is kind of crazy. We'll check it out a couple times, maybe do it on our knees. One of the really nice things about making that transition is that it builds up a lot of strength. It is clearly much more difficult. And the thing with it also, as far as our philosophical practice, is that many of us are not going to be able to do this. I'm pretty sure I'm going to totally mess it up at least once. And being okay with that is part of this practice too, right? Like, not everything has to be perfect every time that we do it. You have to fail miserably at things a lot, often, in order to get to the point in which they become more comfortable, because part of the process, part of the teacher in the moment is learning what doesn't work and learning what you might want to try to improve upon. So yeah, outside yoga should be pretty sweet. We're just gonna hang out and listen to nature and move around a little bit and have a really good time. Make sure you subscribe to this and leave me lots of comments and let me know what you think, and share this with all your friends. Yeah, let's go do some yoga.
We're going to start off with some cat and cow from table pose. Rolling through the back, lifting up the waist, tucking the tail, and then as you inhale, opening up the chest and dropping the belly. Rounding in deeply, and then opening up through the front, rolling the shoulders back. Next time you come into cat pose, hang out there for a moment. See if you can really push down into the hands, lifting the ribs up a little bit higher, and really tuck in through the pelvis. Maybe even push into the tops of your feet, get a little bit more fiery by lifting the knees up gently off of the floor. And then from there, curl your toes under, press back all the way into the top of your rounded cat plank, and then we'll push back into down dog, letting the heart melt and the heels relax. Maybe step out a little bit wider, wiggle the hips around, go ahead and soften into this shape. We'll start rounding into the spine, lifting the heels up, and then dropping the heels back. Take your right leg up into the air, round deep into the spine again, pick up the back of your heart, knee to the forehead, inhale, stretch it back again, and as you exhale, rounding deep, knee into the forehead, inhaling to stretch it back once more. This time as you round deeply into the body, make the room to step your right foot all the way forward to the front of your mat and lower your left knee down. We'll take the arms up, Anjaneyasana, low crescent lunge, lifting up through the ribs. And then modify this slightly by interlacing the fingers. Press the palms upwards to stretch your arms out, and then press the palms forward, and again rounding through the spine. Try to roll your elbows down so the shoulders drift down the back a bit. And then as you inhale, reach the arms back up, release your fingertips, and set the hands down, framing your front foot. Squeeze the knee into the chest to lift the leg up, and then send the right heel all the way up into the air. Stretch out the front of that thigh, and set your right foot down. On your next inhale, stretch the left leg up, look forward, hollow out, tuck the knee into the forehead. Inhale, stretch it back. Exhale, deep rounding into the spine. One more time, lift the left heel up, and then draw the knee into your chest, making the space so that you can step the foot forward right up between your hands. Lowering the right knee down when you get there, reaching the arms open, feel a nice long lift through your torso, and then once again interlace the fingers, press your palms upwards, and see if you can round deeply, pulling the fronts of your thighs up into your pelvis, rounding through the back and unclenching the back of your neck, which I noticed I was doing here. Release the arms, take a deep breath in, open up the heart, and then take your hands down onto the ground. Curl the right toes under, scoop that left knee into your chest, make some space, and then stretch the leg all the way back, Go ahead and set it down. Take a deep breath in and down dog. And then your exhale, soften the heart below your shoulders. And rounding through the spine forward into plank, open your chest at the last moment. And on your exhale, rounding through back in a downward dog. Transitioning through this a few more times. Be careful not to let your hips drop too far below the shoulders in plank. And as you go back into down dog, rest your heels and your heart at the last moment. One more time, moving forward, plank pose. Lifting back, downward dog. Drop the heels. Take a deep breath in. And then look forward on your exhale. Bring your feet to the front of your mat. Inhaling upwards halfway. Exhale, folding all the way down. And then step your left leg back. Come into a lunge. This time keep the back knee up and reach your arms up, reaching your elbows forward. Plant the hands down. Step back into the top of your plank. We'll move forward in front of the arms. Exhale down Chaturanga halfway. Inhaling upward dog, lifting your ears, curling the toes under, downward facing dog. Take a round of breath here. Softening into the heart and the heels. And then on your inhale, stretch the right leg back behind you. Look forward, replace that right knee up at the front of your mat, the right foot, and then reach your right arm in the air and broaden out through your back. Lift the armpit up. Take a deep breath in. And then on your exhale, replace the right hand down to the floor. Step your left foot up next to your right foot. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, fold all the way down. And then stand all the way up, reaching the front of your hips up as well as your hands, and then taking your hands back down at your heart. Inhale, reaching all the way, lifting the front of your pelvis with you. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, halfway up, long spine, shoulders back. Take the hands down, this time stepping your right leg to the back of the mat and coming up high lunge. Long, steady legs, lifted chest, low into those hips. And then take your hands back down to the ground. Step your left foot back to meet your right. Move the heart forward. Exhaling down to Chaturanga. Inhaling up dog. Exhale, curling the toes under. Downward facing dog. One breath to recover. Settling into the shape. Opening up the spine. Then inhaling to reach your left leg up. And as you exhale, making the space to step your left foot to the front of your mat. Reaching just the left arm up, broadening through the chest and the backs of the ribs, lifting up through the armpits, squeezing the inner thighs and towards the hips. On your exhale, left hand comes down, right foot steps forward. Inhale, halfway up, open heart. Exhale, folding down. Standing up as you take the fronts of your hips with you. Lift through the abdominals, and then let your hands meet down at your heart. Take a deep breath here. Let out a full exhale. And then take your arms open again. Lift long through the body. And as you exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhaling long through the spine. Lift the tail as well. And then plant the hands and step both feet back into the top of your plank. Move the chest forward, and this time lower as slow as you can all the way down onto your belly. Keep the hands planted on the sides of the ribs. Lift your belly up. Lift your right leg. Keeping the belly lifted, lower it down, and as you breathe in, lift your left leg, soften the backs of the shoulders, lower the left leg down. On your next breath in, lift up both legs, keeping your belly lifted, slide the shoulders down your spine, and then extend the arms back behind you, lifting your chest forward, dropping the fingertips back in the directions of your heels, keeping your belly lifted as you lift from your hamstrings, not getting very high off the ground, focusing on engaging that whole center. Then bring your hands back down beside your ribs, curl your toes under, lift your hips, the fronts of them up into your belly button, push up into the top of your plank, pressing back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in here and let a deep breath out through your mouth, softening the heart below the shoulders, letting your head hang down. On your next breath in, stretch the right leg back, and then hollowing out the belly, tuck the knee into the forehead. Inhale, moving the leg back, dropping the left heel, and then exhale, pulling the right knee into the forehead. Once again, reaching backwards, hollowing out the spine, curving it as deeply as you can. Kick the right foot out to the left, and then open the right arm up to the ceiling, twisting deeper around the waist and the hips, and then take your left hand back down. Inhale, reaching the right leg back up, and then lower the right leg down to the floor. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee tucks into the forehead. Inhale, stretching back. Exhale, pulling in, deep curve in the whole spine. Push the floor away, reach the left leg back. Curve in deeply, cross the left leg out to the right, take the right arm up, lifting from the waist, pulling up through the inner thighs. And then as you take your next exhale, replace the right hand down to the floor, curl the left knee in, take it back next to the right foot. Inhale here. Exhale, soften down. Looking forward, Maybe take a little pounce or walk your feet up to the front of your mat, stretching the chest out long in front of you, breathing in, exhale, folding down. Standing up, take the fronts of your hips with you, stay engaged through your center, and then exhaling to bring the hands down at your heart. Take the arms behind you, spread your fingertips out, and engage your triceps as you move the palms as far back behind you as you can, opening up the chest. Step the left leg behind you, and keep lifting up the front of the right thigh as you take the chest forward and the left leg back, lifting the inner heel of the left foot so that the toes stay facing mostly down. Reach out nice and long, and then step your left foot back as far to the back of the mat as you can, reaching your arms up over your head. Again, reaching from the center of your ribs right into your armpits rather than pulling the shoulders up. Then as you exhale, floating down on top of your warrior two, keeping your right knee open towards the front and continuing to lift up the front of your left thigh, connecting the pinky toe edge of that left foot with the floor. We've been here about 2 breaths or so already. We'll stay for 5, breathing in to lengthen the spine, and as you exhale, pushing out through the palms, staying nice and low in the front leg, finishing your last exhale, then straighten into the leg. You're going to take all the toes to face towards the back of the mat, coming in a triangle pose now over your left leg. So opposite leg that you were working with before, lifting right up from your right armpit. On your next exhale, take your right hand down, bend deep into a lunge, take your right knee to the floor, turn your left toes out, and take a big open twist, reaching your left arm towards your right foot. You might reach back and grab for the foot, you might not. But lift your belly button up on top of your left thigh, allowing the hips to open and a deep twist to take place. Taking your left hand down, stepping back into your lunge, lifting that left knee up into your armpit, and then stepping the left foot back next to the right. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog, long through the heart. And then curling the toes, lifting up right from the belly button, hips up, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, look forward. Bring your feet again to the front of your mat. You could hop or you could step. Opening up your chest, folding the chest down to your thighs, then breathing in, extending the arms upwards, and letting the hands come down into your heart. Taking the other side, move the arms behind you. This time step your right toes back, opening up long through the chest, long through your spine, including the neck, moving the heart forward, nice and slow and steady, finding length rather than just trying to drop your chest down in the name of getting your leg up. Push out from your ears forward and your toes back. Then step the right toes back, come into a nice long lunge. You want to get really low in the legs so that you can lift the chest up and try to stay as low in the legs as possible, moving into warrior two. Again, we'll be here for 5 breaths. Letting the fronts of your hips lift up and the backs of your shoulder blades press down. Feeling a long lunge through the left knee, pushing that forward, left thigh maybe almost parallel to the floor, pushing down into your left big toe. Feeling your inhales grow long through the spine, your exhales root you down into the ground. 1 more round of breath. As you take your next inhale, straighten your left leg, turn the toes forward, the right toes all the way forward, and then move forward over your right thigh up in a triangle pose. Up by lifting through your left armpit, extending through your fingertips, and then taking the left hand down to the floor, moving back into your lunge. From that lunge, lowering your left knee down, turning your right toes out, and hopefully getting a lot less twisted up in the tapestry or your mat than I did. And then moving your hips forward towards the right heel as you move your right arm back towards your left foot or holding on to your left foot, whichever feels better in your body. And a nice open chest here, deep twist, pushing down into your left hand so you're not collapsing into the shoulder. And then set your left foot down if you had it grabbed onto, plant the hands, squeeze your right knee up into your armpit, lift the heel, and then step it back next to your left foot. Move forward, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog, and then lift back, downward facing dog. Another round of breath, settling into this shape. And then start to bring yourself forward onto your hands and knees, and then back into child's pose. Settling down, letting the outsides of your shoulders drop, nestling the hips back into your heels, relaxing the back of your neck, and relaxing your breath. We'll come forward now into the top of a plank. Moving through this transition, coming down first on the knees, forward into Chaturanga, still lifting the fronts of your hips, keep your chest open in your Chaturanga, and then continue the forward motion into Up Dog, lifting up, long neck, and then keeping a long spine, open chest, push back Chaturanga, and then moving back from plank into Downward Facing Dog. So that was our test run, moving on the knees. You might move through your knees again, or this time maybe try it on your toes. So pull forward into the top of your plank, nice long legs, open chest, moving down Chaturanga, forward onto the tops of the feet, Up Dog, and then curling the toes, lifting back, strong center, Chaturanga, plank pose, Downward Facing Dog. Go ahead and take a nice deep breath in here. Big loud sigh, soften through your heels. And then lift your right leg back, look forward, step the right foot up to the front of your mat, take both arms up, nice long spine. And then coming into a twist over your right leg, hook your left elbow, and taking maybe a right fist into your left palm to use that fist and push the right shoulder back, opening up your chest a little bit more over that front knee. Make the transition back into high lunge, a little balance challenge, take the hands down. And then scoop your right heel back, step it back. Let's one more time try this Chaturanga into Up Dog, maybe to Down Dog, maybe once more attempt Chaturanga, and then plank, and then Downward Dog. Take a couple rounds of breath here. Spreading out your fingers, don't drop into the shoulders, feel the spine lengthening, the backs of the legs opening, and then on your next inhale, take the left leg back up, look forward, step the left foot to the front of your mat, make space to step it through as long as you can, adjusting where you need, reach the arms open, take that nice long spine over your left leg as you hook the right elbow. And then keep pushing down into that top hand. You could have palms together, or you could use this fist, this power mudra, and that might open up your left collarbone a bit more, maybe a deeper twist. Strong legs, keep the legs strong, keep your focus steady as you reach back up into this high lunge, stretch open through the chest, then take the hands down, step back to the top of your plank. Again, you could take this on your knees or skip the second Chaturanga, open chest, up onto the tops of the feet, lift the ears, keep the belly engaged, Chaturanga, and then lift up and back, Downward Facing Dog. Deep breath in, deep breath out, and then come back once more, Child's Pose. Maybe give your forehead a little rock on the floor to massage out your eyebrows in case you had any tension there. And take your right arm, we're going to thread the needle from Child's Pose, just keeping the back really soft, wiggling those right fingertips underneath the left armpit, maybe rest your head on the floor. If you need your hips higher up than on your heels, absolutely make that modification to thread the needle from Table Pose. And then switch over, reaching your left arm underneath the right arm this time, trying to relax into your neck, maybe giving a little extra wiggle in your left fingertips once you've been there a while. And then coming back out into Child's Pose. From Child's Pose, we're going to start to walk the hands in, come on up to a seat, and then get a little shoulder stretch. Come into Virasana, sit your hips up on your heels, and draw your knuckles, interlacing the fingers down towards the floor, opening the chest up, still lifting up from the fronts of your hips, nice long straight spine. One more deep breath in. Exhale. And then release your arms. Try to wind your right leg tightly in front of your left so your knees are together, and then sit back, Gomukhasana. I'm going to adjust so that you can see my back. I've got my right knee stacked more or less up on top of the left, wiggling those thighs together nice and tight. Take the right arm behind the back, the left arm behind you up the back, and maybe keep the fingers spread apart. Maybe you can join fingers and pull your elbows apart as you breathe softness into your thighs. So we're opening up the low back and also opening up the chest, a little bit of back bend. Elbows apart, breathing in, softening the neck as you exhale. Then release your arms, come forward so that you can unwind your legs and then wind them up the other way. Again, maybe a little manual adjustment might be necessary, especially if you've got something weird that you're sitting on like I do. This tapestry was a terrible idea. I should have brought my mat. Anyway, so we're going to take the arms the opposite way now, this time with the left leg on top. It's going to be the left arm up and the right arm slides up underneath the back. Palm faces behind you on that bottom arm. You could also take this elementary PE stretch of pulling the lifted elbow in towards your towards your head, or keeping the fingertips extended if they don't actually reach each other. Try to soften through your shoulders, take a nice round of breath, and then release your arms. We'll unwind the legs and then come all the way down onto the back. When you get there, open your arms up, bend into your knees, and with the feet on the floor, go ahead and take a couple windshield wipers side to side. Go nice and slow. Just continuing to bring down the heart rate and soften the body as we start to prepare for Shavasana. Letting go of the control of your breath, softening your face, eventually extending the legs out and bringing the arms down by your sides. As you release control of your body, especially after all of that hard work, all of those difficult transitions, allow yourself to stay here as long as you like, as long as you have time for, in order to recover, give yourself this very well-deserved rest. When you do decide that you're ready to resume the rest of your day, slowly bring yourself up to a seat. Take a moment to pause, turn inwards in gratitude for your practice. Namaste.